221. 221. Cam's got a big bum.
Check mic. Checking the microphone. Less sibilance.
Sibilance.
Let
Sibilance.
Leonard lick Lisa's lusty leathers. Let
Leonard lick Lucy's
lusty leathers.
Luscious something.
I just said it.
What'd you say?
Lusty leathers.
What's a lusty leather?
Presumably a leather which is used for moments of lust.
Ooh, I like that. A little bit of sexy time with Lucy.
Exactly.
Was that what the show Lucy, Where's Lucy? Was that what it's called?
It's called I Love Lucy, and no, it was just
Lucy.
It was just about a woman named Lucy.
You sure about that? Have you watched the show?
Yes, I'm very sure it's about a woman named It's about a woman named Lucy. She was not a sex worker in any way, shape, or form.
You might want to double check that.
No, I'm pretty sure it's from like the 50s, like prior to the sex career.
Continuing tonight on Two C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 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 just like two C's in a pod, two C's because we're two C's in a pod, just like two C's in a pod, two C's in a pod at gmail.com.
Welcome to Two C's in a Pod, everyone, where we talk about 50s shows and how they influenced how we have sex today. You're listening here to Cam LeClaire, some call the sex addict, and Cam Osborne.
Now, Cam, I want to stop you right there because Cam LeClaire, the sex addict, is a moniker that you've had for a long time, and then it sort of went away, and then it came back. I know there was a period of time in your life where you were completely abstinent.
Abstinent, yep.
And then you sort of like went back to your old way. It's sort of like like an alcohol, you falling off the wagon and then hopping back on the wagon.
Wagon's always there.
But the wagon is always there to bust into, Cam. I'd love to hear more about that. I'm sure the fans would love to hear more about that. Maybe on a stick around until the end of the podcast. You might hear a little bit more about Cam LeClaire's sex addiction. Because you're right.
Yeah, we got a big show coming up. Here.
We have a huge show coming up. The interview with Brad Pitt is still on the table to happening.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
No, Depth. The adult star. Depth. Johnny Depp.
Yeah, of course we have both Johnny Depp and Johnny Depp impersonator John Depp. Very excited to have Depp and Depth here in the studio because we were talking to them because we're still looking to fill this D'Elia hour because we haven't heard from him in a little while. It's almost as though the guy, he's just turned off his phone and he's off in the Amazon somewhere.
The Amazon, not as in the website. Just in case you're wondering, for those millennials who listen and don't realize.
I did also hear that Amazon is looking to expand, so hiring some new employees and such. So I wouldn't put it past him that he could be he could be an Amazon employee in the Amazon.
Like the building?
Yeah,
or the Amazon?
Both, because if
the building that just been established in Kitchener as a port.
There's an Amazon store in Kitchener these days?
Yeah, they've it's not a store because everything's online, but they've recently announced that they're doing another like warehouse or something, bunch of jobs. Are they the best jobs? I don't know. Who knows?
That's fantastic. Are they hiring? Maybe Cam, this could be you and I's opportunity.
A side hustle
to get on the inside with Bezos.
With the B-Dog?
Exactly.
I gotta sell.
Between your sales and business savvy and my very defined upper body, I think Bezos would. We're the perfect package for him. All we need is one of us to be bald and not it. It's going to be you, bud.
Yeah, I mean, the not bald part.
Yeah, I said bald, not it, and I touched my nose. That's the
okay.
worldwide symbol for. Didn't you grow up and have that?
I thought you were having still some issues with the cocaine. You know.
Oh yes, of course.
The nose scratch.
Of course, a little update on that. We Two Seasons Pod continues to be in a global partnership with cocaine. It is the official. It is the official drug of Two Seasons Pod.
They told us it's cocaine. It's not cocaine.
They did ask us to pronounce it cocaine, which is very important. And I do, just for legal reasons, Cam, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I do have to clarify. This does not interfere with our corporate sponsorship with the Pepsi company. Pepsi is still the official soft drink of Two Seasons a Pod, and Coke is more as the official drug of Two Seasons a Pod. We had to clear that up legally speaking for the lawyers.
Again, it's not Coke, it's cocaine.
Yeah. So that's exactly it. We are in the Coke and Pepsi business. I just had to clarify that up in case any fans, you missed a week. I mean, a lot of things. This podcast rolls faster than
Usain Bolt's Ferrari made by Lamborghini.
Yeah, of course. The old Ferrari-Bagini.
Ferrari-Bagini. Yeah, two worlds you never thought would combine.
You never thought Ferrari and Lamborghini would be in bed together. You never thought that Coke and Pepsi would be in bed together. But sure enough, through the Two Seasons a Pod, that's really just what we're bringing to the table from a business point of view.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the rational minds of millionaires. We just haven't found the millions yet. It's all tied up in offshore accounts. So, working on pulling those out, but some COVID things are holding us back from pulling the cash out.
Also, our swimming ability, because as you know, if you this is a little thing that they kind of don't tell you in the movies. If you have an offshore bank account, there's no car access.
Yeah, exactly. You need to swim to get there.
You need to be able to swim to get there and then get back. And I mean, I think that's really a decision on us, Cam. We sort of took this bottomless piggy bank. And we decided to put it onto an island, which may not have been the best decision on our part. I mean, it keeps it safe.
I mean, the man said he'd keep it safe for us.
And also, by the way, I just want to clarify before we keep going. I know I just said that there is a bottomless piggy bank of funds, and I mean that. There is a large porcelain ceramic piggy bank. With his, and it's bottomless, so it's a pig with jeans, and the jeans have been pulled down to his ankles, revealing his grotesque lower half. And this bottomless piggy bank does sit in a hole in one of our offshore accounts, and let me tell you, it's bottomless.
Yeah. Speaking of bottomless, I heard to tie off to our old top 5, which I'm going to continue with next week. I'm going to give you a little teaser of one of the titles having to do with bottomless. Next week, we're going to be doing a top 5 novelty adult film titles, leading off with Ace Ventura, Crack Detective.
Okay, now when you say novelty film titles, does that mean these movies were made?
These movies were made, yes. So, for example,
so it's like
the transition from It's a Wonderful Life, Tits a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
right?
Did you say Tits a Wonderful Life?
There you go, yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is kind of it's like any of those scary movie type things, or Don't Be a Menace to Society when you're juicing in the hood, or whatever. What was that one called? Can Simon and Webster, can the dictionary guys, can they look into that? What was that Wayans movie called? I don't know. Let us know. twoceesinapod@gmail.com. It was something to do with it was combining all of those 90s movies about little gangbangers. Which, by the way, little gangbangers,
like Little Rascals, but little gangbangers.
Yeah, little gangbangers. They had a little alfalfa type character, who he'd have, he'd have the little piece of hair that would stick up into his little afro. Little gangbangers. A new series we've been working on, trying to expand into the television and film market. Realizing, maybe the podcast audio medium. Of course, we are still exclusive to the internet. We still did sign that exclusive deal with the internet. The podcast can only be found online.
No more tapes. We're phasing them out.
No, we're phasing out the tapes. And to all of our loyal listeners who have been, who we've been
Which
mailing,
is the majority of our listeners on tape.
Yeah. Actually, when we made the transition, there was a huge blowback. Apparently, many fans of the show did very much so more enjoy getting the tapes and the CDs and the vinyl that we were sending out. Let's not forget the vinyl. The 4 LP version.
It's just like when Apple got rid of the earphone cable. I had to call up my boy Stevie Jobs, say, hey, how did you deal with the backlash? He says, hey, innovators have to push forward. And they say, hey, we're going to be the first people exclusive to the internet.
And this was already an innovation to begin with, because you were speaking to him from beyond the grave in a ritualistic
I was using
seance?
a medium, yeah. It was a medium, yeah.
Love to hear that story, Cam, because when you were afforded the opportunity to meet a medium, you chose Steve Jobs of all people.
Who would you choose?
That's a good question. Maybe.
Why not? I had a dilemma. I had people banging on my door saying, "Where's my cassette? Where's my 8-track? Where's my vinyl? I made a subscription. I pay a lot of money to your podcast. I keep your bottomless piggy bank bottomless. I want to see Da Vinci's Load." That's what they told me. And next thing you know.
When we cannot emphasize how bottomless this little pig's jeans are pulled right down to his ankles, like he's getting a spanking.
Well, spanking.
Like he's about to get a spanking on his bottomless piggy bank ass.
Who do you call if you get to a medium? Also, those mediums, they must be hiding something, as in they must be some frame for. I don't know. I look at those places on downtown King Street or Spadina in Toronto, and it's like medium, and I'm like, that's some prime real estate. I feel like something's a little bit fishy.
Wait. So you're more concerned with how can the medium afford such valuable real estate in the city of Toronto? That's what your biggest concern there is.
Aren't you a little bit concerned about that?
That's a good point.
There's no way it's like, it's $5 to get your palm read. You're like, oh, you must be raking it in here. You don't see lineups out front of those doors. You don't even need to have socially distant lines outside of it.
Right, they don't need to put the little tape on the ground because there's never that big of a lineup to a medium.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone outside or walking into one and being like, I think today's the day. When I went, it was just me there.
It was just you. They read the cards and you spoke
tarot readings.
Tarot readings. Tarot.
Is it tarot?
Tarot?
Cocaine?
I don't know. The T is silent, and if you're doing it, you're fucking crazy. So, Cam, let's kick off today's show. What do we have to talk about? Oh, man, we have such an exciting show. Of course, the Brad Pitt interview, which may or may not happen.
Johnny
Depp is also meeting John Depp, famous Johnny Depp celebrity impersonator, a little bit later on in the show. But let's kick this one off because we did hear from some of our fans this week. Of course, you can reach out to the podcast at any time, twoceesinapod@gmail.com. And I gotta say, Cam, we got an email this week.
Dear 2ceesinapod@gmail.com. Stop plugging your email all the time. Nobody is going to write you.
Let's hear it.
Isn't it exciting? Of course, we hear from so many of our fans. It's so nice to hear. And this is from a loyal listener named Miss Angela Wilson, where she says to us,
Angie, big shouts out.
Yeah, big shout out, Angie. Well, we don't know if she likes to be called Angie. She may prefer Angela.
Listen, I call her what I want.
And call her what you want. And she writes to us, greetings, my dear friend. Nice to meet you. Am Miss Angela. I found your email here in Google. It's fantastic.
Ooh.
Of course, we are all over the place. Google, DuckDuckGo, Spoticast, Wikipedia. I found your email here in Google search, and I picked interest to contact you. I have something very important which I would like to discuss with you, and I would appreciate it if you would respond back to me through my email address as to tell you more about me with my photos, my private email as fellows. Contact me. That was it.
So,
Interesting.
through my email address, as to tell you more with me, with my photos, my private emails as fellows.
Yeah, it's sort
Is
of
it emails as follows or fellows? As in, she knows that obviously we've been going through the education system to become doctors, and we've gone through our residency or are now fellows.
Of course,
big announcement. Yeah,
big, huge announcement here. Cam and I have recently been part of this, kind of like a fast track system. You know, when you go to like Disney and you can buy the fast pass to be put at the front of the line of the ride. We essentially did the exact same thing with becoming doctors, Cam. And in one very, very difficult, strenuous week's time, you and I have both become medical doctors officially.
Yes, it was a tough exam. I got a friend to write it for me. He said it was very difficult. Flew for my fellowship residency. Did it I did the Sims program where you can just fast forward a few years.
Yes. Oh, yeah. It's very Sims related.
I'm ready.
Yeah. It was very Sims-like, and Cam, I think you're ready. I had a little bit of miscommunication halfway through the test. I started writing the bar exam because that's what I thought it took to be a doctor. Turns out it doesn't, and that's a totally different. Turns out that's a totally different.
No,
career.
we're saying we're trying to raise the bar, not write the bar.
Right, and that's where I got confused. We had this whole motto in our heads, and I ended up writing the bar instead of raising the bar.
Right. You have to write your MCATs. You thought it was cats, and then you ate a cat.
Yeah, that's what it was. I saw cat, and I was like, I don't like cats.
Cats.
I don't like cats to begin with, so I think eating them would certainly hurt a little bit more. Especially I was wondering how that was going to affect my allergy.
The LSATs got someone with the first letter of their name L. Took a shat on them.
That's exactly. When I heard LSAT, I thought somebody was mispronouncing El Shat. So what I had done, I had found a Spanish person and then took a shat on I took an El Shat on them. It was a huge miscommunication.
A huge L Shat.
It was a big week for us, Cam. Just sort of all over the place. It was fantastic.
So we're proud to announce that if you have any legal problems, any medical requirements, please, as we are certified, all the professions.
I wrote the LShats. I can tell you, I can help you out. twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out.
Yeah, no, it's great to hear from the fans. Angela. We'll make sure we'll follow up. That's AngelaWilson37@gmail.com. Thanks for.
Should we bleep that out? I don't know if it's necessarily fair to our listeners. Or I would hate to deter other listeners to be writing into us, worried that we're gonna expose their personal information.
Well, I gave a small tweak to it, so it wasn't exactly that. There's missing one letter in it. Right. Yeah, we'd be happy to see your private photos and your private email as fellows. Yes, as fellows, we'd love to see your private photos because she must be ill.
Now, Cam, I do want to bring one thing up. When it comes to exposing the private emails, Cam, you have really spearheaded the security systems here at the Two Season Pod studio. Not only our physical well-being, our mental well-being, and of course, our data protection. And there was the data leak that happened here at the Two Seasons Pod studio, Cam. Of course, is this the time that you want to apologize to the listeners? Do you have something you want to say about this security breach?
All I'm saying is that you offered the information up. I never said it was secure. I'm not saying I'm passing the buck. I'm just saying be more responsible and don't click the accept unless you read all the terms and conditions.
Because, Cam, you wrote for our listeners an extensive terms and conditions page, which includes...
There's some things you agreed to in there.
There's some odd amendments in there, some legally binding information, and you're sticking by it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you did sign up where I could look into your webcam whenever I want. Like, it's in the documents.
Mm-hmm. And I think I actually also saw that little subsection where if you put a little strip of tape over top of your laptop's webcam,
that's a violation.
That's a violation. Yeah. Okay. So, we just want to get that out in the open. Please, folks, read the terms and conditions, because we don't want dissatisfied listeners.
No, I don't think I've ever read one. I don't think I've ever read a term and condition. I think I've tried. Like, even when you go and do something important, like... Okay, here's an example. Like, when you buy expensive things, there's typically, like, a pretty big document that you have to read with it. How often do you comb through that in its entirety and ask questions?
When it comes to a terms and conditions specifically? Because, Cam, you just said...
let's say you're buying, audio equipment or, like, rental. You're buying a rental. Okay, or you're renting something for audio, and it's like, please sign this document, and you're like, I like to do the pretend read. I'm like, I scan through it, I'm like, it makes a lot of sense here, as I am a lawyer. I took my LSATs, and then I'm like, line 37, it says some words, maybe you could clear that up. But yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for like spending more than 5 minutes on reading a document where I'm like, I'm not going to argue this. I'm not going to be like, I'd like to make an amendment to this. Could you clarify this, please?
Well, Cam, maybe I think we should challenge ourselves the next time we are asked if we agree with the terms and conditions.
Say no.
Read them.
No.
Well, I think more often than not,
say no. I'd like to renegotiate, please.
I think if you say no, then the service won't go through.
Well, no, I say, then we say, can I speak to your manager, please? They go, I am the manager. I go, okay. So who's your boss when you make a salary?
Are you trying to stump these employees? Are you trying to anger them? I'm trying to see what your
I am.
particular
And they're going to go,
is.
You got me. I get a salary. Looks like I'm not the boss. And I go, get that man on the phone for me. We got to renegotiate these terms and conditions.
And how often does that work? How often does that work out well?
We're brainstorming here, Cam. I don't know.
Okay. I thought this was something that you were doing every time.
I mean, how often are you actually signing things, though?
Oh, I haven't signed something in years.
Let me think. I would have signed something somewhat recently. I signed the contract for the dog, but I actually read through that contract pretty. So you
did read the terms and conditions just because.
And I actually did ask questions. I asked questions because it was only like 3 pages. I mean, if it was like a 30-page document, I'd be like, this is a little bit fishy.
Well, it would be a little bit doggy, I think, if anything.
A good one. A little bit barky. It would bark up some suspicions.
It would bark up some suspicions.
I don't know. I'm reaching right now. Reaching for those grapes, as they say.
Is that what they say?
Well, there's this great interview with Tito Ortiz, who's this old MMA fighter, but his on-camera presence is just absolutely terrible. And he's asked by the interviewer, like, hey, I know Chuck Liddell wants to fight you in the next, like, whatever. He's saying all this bullshit about it. And Tito comes back and says, well, let me see if I can find the exact quote. Violin.
No, you're not allowed, Cam. Cam, we've taken away your keyboard due to distractions.
Okay, he says he's reaching for those grapes and he's trying to make his wine. And the wine's already sounding, and then does like a money sign, like a violin. All that cheese and wine, we'll see you November 24th.
Oh, a lot of big food analogy. I didn't know.
So This is the line again. We'll repeat this for the folks at home. He says, "Hey, this guy's saying he's gonna beat your ass. What do you have to say back to them?" He says he's reaching for those grapes and he's trying to make his wine, and the wine's already sounding like a violin, and he's doing the sign for like that. Oh, this is the world's smallest violin, and he's mixing up like 5 different things here. And then he goes, "All that cheese and wine. We will see on November 24th.
Yeah, one could even argue those were all terrible, terrible puns. Like nothing was cohesive in
Well, let's break this down. He's reaching for those grapes. Is that a thing? It is?
I always thought like you wouldn't say reaching for grapes, like extending an olive branch is a
that's what I thought.
That's a term, but reaching for grapes, I don't really know. Sour grapes, that's when you're
that's what it is. So he's like, he has sour grapes, but he says he's reaching for those grapes. So he's kind of like,
those are two different things. Those are two different things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to make his wine. So I think
he's trying to do. He's trying to do this wine thing too much. WHINE, of course. Like,
and then next line, and the wine's already sounding. And then shows the sign for money or a very small violin in his hands. And I think that's where he was going, is that, oh, I hear the world's smallest violin. Like that old one, right? But he says, and the wine's already sounding like a violin. So there might have been slight...
God, there was like three things in 2 sentences. And it was all terrible. I'll give a pass on this one. I am more likely to blame the CTE.
Yeah,
you know, when it comes to not being able to form proper puns. So I'll extend an olive branch, as it were, to Tito Ortiz and forgive him for such a poor. Like, he was trying so hard. If you're a kid, like if a 6-year-old tried to make that kind of wordplay, you would be like, "Way to go, 6-year-old! That's got to be quite difficult."
Hey, like they say, all that cheese and wine we'll see on November 24th.
And also, I mean, if November 4th is like International Wine and Cheese Day, maybe it all comes around and we're the ones who look foolish.
Well, that was the date of his fight.
But if it happened,
all that cheese and wine we'll see on November 24th.
Did he come down to the ring with wine and cheese? He
was reaching for those grapes.
Did he have a promo package that maybe, that video of like the woman stamping out the grapes and then she falls over? Was that involved in the video package in any way?
Well, I don't think you get it. The wine sounded like a violin.
Oh, I get it. But what happened to the grapes? I'm focused on the grapes.
Well, all the wine and cheese.
Well, we need the grapes to make the wine and cheese. Well, not the cheese,
he's reaching
just the wine.
for the grapes.
So
he's trying to make his wine.
Oh, so so there is a purpose for the grape reaching.
Well, the wine's already sounding like a violin.
So that's why you have your cheese, because the cheese looks like the violin.
Well, no, he's reaching for the grapes. I don't think you're getting it here. Listen, we'll see you on November 24th.
We'll see you on November 24th. In a month, in a couple months, we'll see where the wine and cheese really, whose wine and cheese it really is.
Here's another good one. Buddy, on Saturday night, those little blue eyes are going to be sparkling even more, man. That's another line. I don't know where he was going with that one. But definitely starting a sentence and not really sure where it's going to go. I'll read that back. Buddy, on Saturday night, those little blue eyes are going to be sparkling even more, man.
That one's tough.
Little Tito Ortiz corner here of analyzing. We don't analyze fights. We analyze trash talk.
Yeah, because honestly, bad trash talk will take you out of the entire. Program, the entire fight.
Yeah, the Luke Rockhold had a bad one of GSP too. I don't know if you remember that one.
Of course, I don't remember, Cam. Why would I remember that? Why would I even know what you're talking about?
I don't know. It's a thing. He says, "Now I'm coming for that belt, GSP. I don't know what you need to do. You want me to beat some sense into you? You don't belong here. You're gonna get crushed. Better back out. Get out this thing while you still can. This is my fight, and I'll be sooner than you."
That was okay.
More trash talk.
That seemed like general.
Not really.
Again, I'm willing to blame it on the CTE. You know, there's a lot of things I'm willing to blame on head injuries.
Nah, CTE is fine. It's good for you.
Oh yeah, just like taking a jog.
They did a study. Yeah, it means if you have CTE, you probably played a professional sport, and you probably have some cash.
Now, Cam, you're saying this
they correlated those
as
two things
a
together,
professional doctor. Now, these are the claims you are making.
And lawyer. Don't forget.
Yeah, the most dangerous combination in the world.
Living. I want to be a musician too, and obviously you've all heard my singing talents. I got some chops, as
Of course,
say.
yeah. If you listened a few episodes ago, Cam was very not comically singing songs in a very not comical fashion.
No, it was good.
It was
Some good stuff.
it was quite serious. There was no there were no laughs to be had.
Nope.
No, it was a very serious moment.
I'm working working with Dre. You've heard of him?
Andre.
He's also a doctor.
Yeah, I have Dr. Andre.
Dr. Andre. Andres.
Of course. And what's his medical what's his major, his medical major?
He's in Beats.
No, so you're talking auditory sciences. He's like an ear, nose, and throat doctor.
No, it's that's different. It's,
okay.
Like dum 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 dum. Is that one?
What? Use your words, Cam.
Beats are beats.
Use that beautiful singing voice that we just
soul.
talked about.
Hey, you gotta stop reaching for these grapes because there's gonna be a very small violin
and no cheese for you to have.
And I'm coming sooner than you. Jeez.
I'm coming first.
This is a train wreck.
God, that is a train wreck.
Did you have a game for us this week, or did you still not come up with the one from last week?
You keep saying that like nothing's prepped. Cam, you can't.
I told you, if we can get the intern to change the whiteboard seating, I can't be bothered to spin my seat around.
The whiteboard is still a thick black marker. Where's Dalia? Of course, we should bring up last week. We kind of seceded that, Dalia stopped returning our calls. He stopped returning our emails. Have not been able to reach him on Instagram and Twitter. So I thought I'd head over to Spotify, see what would happen if maybe Rogan had some insight as to this. Turns out I couldn't find Dalia's episodes on Spotify to begin with.
Yeah, what's up with that? Has that been addressed yet, or is that just going to be kind of played off like nothing happened?
Of course it's going to be played off like nothing happened. But Cam, you rest assured that us here at Two-Season-a-Pod will not stand for Spotify's censoring. Of course, that's why we are moving over to Spoticast. Spoticast, which will be airing all of Two Season Pod's episodes, regardless of how good they are, for the indefinite future.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird one that they just kind of skirted around that issue. Because I wonder if that's going to affect guest selection going forward.
Well, I think that's the big question for everybody. What are Spotify's political interests, right? You sort of count off episodes with people. Like, does that mean that, an act like Joey Diaz, is he just not allowed on that program anymore? Even though, the two of them are, the hosts.
Well, not even like Joey Diaz, like, I don't know, just a bunch of political figures.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, no. Well, I was making an example of just the episode that one, a group of the episodes that were removed, right? And the Diaz episodes were some of those, and whether it be a bunch of people that I probably don't care about, anyways. But if you're gonna censor shit, at least be open about it. Like, don't lie that or don't try to like sweep it under the rug. At least say like, hey, we're Spotify and we believe this, therefore this.
Yeah.
Just
we don't support these people, and just give a giant list of like, hey, yeah,
everybody who we're not allowing on a podcast that's broadcasted on our platform.
I would love that if the list went on for like 4,000 names, like Jim from that episode of 2.5 Men who said this comment, like he's canceled. We don't even know who he is. In our books, canceled.
But Charlie Sheen, bring on the Sheen Man.
The Sheen Man.
Remember, he's winning. Remember that to the Tiger's blood winning.
Yeah. You know what's funny is I was doing some research on a doctor friend of mine because we're all doctors, we're all friends of mine. And on their website they had like all the celebrities that they treated in Hollywood, and one of them was Charlie Sheen, and that was like on his front page. And I was like, this doesn't age well.
Why not? Everybody needs medical help, Cam, regardless of whether you're a Sheen
but
or
I mean,
an
they had like 7 people, and it's like, don't have him as your number one. They had like Paul Abdul, they had Travis Barker, and I'm like, okay, these are good names. Like Travis Barker can't go wrong. He's like, hey, doctor, this guy fixed my hands. Fucking hands feel sick now. I can jump forever.
Maybe it's ranked by severity of injury, or the degree of repair. Maybe they did the most for the old Sheen guy. When Paul Abdul just kind of got a flu shot.
Imagine that. Yeah, post on my website. Do you mind if I put you on my website for getting this flu shot? You're like, sure, I don't care.
Well, sure, I don't care. I don't care. But that is entirely entirely possible.
What? I feel like they could probably get hit up quite a bit. Like, do you mind if I put you on our website? Like, you're at Rexall. Like, you're at the Rexall and you're, I don't know, famous Canadian Jerry D. And it's like, hey, Jerry D gets his flu shot at this Toronto Rexall. You should as well.
You should too. Do you want to be like Jerry D? Get your flu shot at our Rexall, at Rexall.
I'd like it to be like
campaign.
Very C-list celebrities too. It's like, hey, like a third-ranked Sports Center broadcaster. And it's like, hey, I seen you on TV at 4 a.m. It's like, I do the
their name is
late shift.
Their name is so obscure, Cam. You can't even think of one.
I can't. No, because they change out like the weather, man.
A tier that you are not even familiar with.
Is that even like a D-list celebrity? Like, is that, I don't know, you're on television at some point.
No, I think a sportscaster is like B at best. Like the
low, no, not like a real sportscaster, like a backup. It's like, hey, I'm like Dave Naylor. Like, that's
not even on the list. Even on the list. There's no alphanumeric list to contain a Canadian sports broadcaster.
CFL broadcaster.
Exactly. What are you gonna say? Rod Black is an F-list celebrity? Like, we're not even counting lists at that point.
Where do we put our name on that list? Probably A, B, something like that.
Getting higher. Certainly. Kind of marching our way out of C list and into B list.
Nice. That's what I like to hear.
As the show grows,
give us a shout, Forbes, for top 30 under 30. Because we're getting close.
Because we're getting close. We only have a few more years to qualify for the top 30 under 30. And we all know, Cam, that whole list is rigged. That whole thing is rigged.
I made the top 10 under 10.
Top 10 under 10?
Yeah.
How was that? What were you? What was your entrepreneurial, sort of skills back when you were 10 years old?
Baby hand model. Great hands back then.
Oh, baby hand model. Now, this is interesting, Cam. This is new. We haven't heard this before, and it seems to be a big part of your backstory, Cam, because you have always loved watches.
Love watches. A little fun fact for you. Check out the next magazine you look at. Check what time the watch is at. And I'm going to almost guarantee it's at 10:10.
Now, why?
It's a very famous time for watches.
Famous time for watches. Is there a reason for that?
Just looks good. Just think about like looking at a watch. It's like, if you look at a watch right now, you're like, it's kind of an ugly time. But 10:10, it's got the one hand that's at the 10, then the other at the 2. You're like, it's just like my hands when I'm driving.
It's a good looking time on a
like
clock
noon
face.
is terrible. Or you're like, ugh, good.
Everything
I'm late.
right up.
Right,
12:30.
You're just getting out of that first meeting. You're like, life's good.
Life's good at 10:10. And Cam, you started doing the hand modeling for watches, little baby rings, also little kind of like child brass knuckles, also sort of stuff. And then I guess the business sort of fell out, or what happened there?
we didn't get the funding for little gangbangers, so things kinda hit
right.
the
Of
fan.
course,
We're trying to bring it back now.
We are still, and I do want to bring this up, even though we just brought it up. We are still writing the script for season 1 of the Little Gangbangers, where it'll
Bang,
follow. It's a Little Rascals type situation, but stuck in the ghetto. We're still writing season 1. I think we'll start casting a little bit shortly after that. But stay tuned. We're talking to FX right now, selling our script to them, which has been some very exciting news.
I would love to talk to a kid that went through as a child actor, like not a hand model like myself, but like a child actor, to be like, how do you feel about your parents? Second question, like, are you famous now? And like third question is like, can I get your autograph?
Right, of course. Oh, that's the third question, eh? I love that
I'm not a great interviewer.
I love that you're not. We know that about you. We know that about you, of course. You're the interviewee. You need somebody to keep setting you up for you
Just
to throw
setting me up
for
with
you,
punchlines.
for you to kind of give a little punchline. And that's exactly it. I like that your first question there is, how do you feel about your parents? Right off the
because
bat.
they're gonna be forcing them to go to all this shit. It's not like they're like, I want to be a child actor. It's like somehow they get tied into this shit, and then they're stuck doing it. They're like, oh, little Jimmy, you're so pretty. You look like a little bit of a gangbanger, if I do say so myself. And then next thing you know, he's in full cholo gear and just banging the streets of LA. And he's like, I don't want to do this.
And I just want you to know, this isn't. We're not writing a show that is kind of scaled back to appeal to a child audience. Like, no, this is very much
there's blood, guts.
rated R show.
There's going to be abortions in it. Like, it's going to be dealing with a lot of serious
This
topics.
is dealing with a lot of very taboo subject matter, of course. We're hoping to jump on the trend of the cuties trend on Netflix there and really kind of start exploiting these young... Netflix, it's this... I don't know, because I don't want to watch it. Apparently, it's just it's a movie about like these like 11-year-olds in a dance contest, and it's just like hypersexualized, but in the sense of like children doing what adults do in music videos. But now you just see a child doing it, and it's on Netflix. So I think it's just kind of like raising a lot of shit, because it's like, oh, like this is like a company doing this. Like shame on, of course, everyone involved, but shame on Netflix for airing these things. It's no different than you would see on like a tween's TikTok, but because it's on Netflix, it's a larger deal than it actually is.
Right. Sounds like this will pass with a 24-hour news cycle, so I'm not worried about.
Oh yeah,
this
was at least 72 hours ago. So we're 3 stories new on this one.
Yeah, which brings us to before getting into our last segment of news stories, a little word of the day. Do I say myself, or as some call it, reverse balderdash?
Close. We're
Hit it.
AIDS, bum, cum, douche, edge, fap, gimp, herb, ike, jerk, kush, lamp, mac, narc, oaf, pank, queet, re, slore, tilf, of, vag, walk of shame, zon, yeet, and zuck. Now let's play some balderdash, Urban Dictionary balderdash.
Close. We're calling it Urban Dictionary balderdash. Cam, I love the enthusiasm that you give with all of these introductions, though, so I really can't stop you.
That's what I do. They call me the Segway. That's what they used to call me.
They used to, because you were tall and skinny with two big, kind of like round mounds on your bottom half, and people used to ride you around Laurier campus.
They did, and then I said, "This is abuse." First definition, Cam, and tell me if you know what this one means. A rat licker.
A rat licker. Okay. Well, what? Like a rat is like, someone who like snitches. So a rat licker could be like somebody who's attracted to snitches.
Well, you can always use it in a sentence if you'd like me.
Oh
to.
yeah. Can we have that in a sentence, please?
Of course. Rat licker. Latin origination, combined with another Latin word, rat, liquor. Origin 2020. The definition: use a sentence. I went to the mall for some new underwear, but had to leave. Too many rat liquors.
Had to leave. Too many rat liquors. See, I was thinking liquor could also like an liquor. Like a rat liquor is like a real shitty booze. Maybe I'm gonna go with that. Like
it's liquor, not liquor, like not liquor, liquor, like
rat liquor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go.
cone.
I'm gonna go back to what I was saying about before. It's like a rat licker is kind of like a groupie, but for snitches.
Interesting. Wrong, but I love the enthusiasm. Too many rat lickers. So we're at a mall. Too many rat lickers. Origin 2020. A person who refused to wear a mask or take any basic precautions to help society prevent an airborne illness during an epidemic, in reference to the bubonic plague being spread by rats.
Of course, and as you know, of course, as so much information has come out in the year 2020, the bubonic plague spread from people licking rats. They used to lick them.
Well, lick them, eat them, play with them, treat them like dogs,
Put little leashes on them.
Cute leashes.
Little cute leashes. Used to take them for walks. Used to call them little funny names like Mr. Charles.
Mr. Charles, what are you doing?
What are you
doing? Why are you losing all your hair?
What are you doing here?
Oh, you want a little bit of a snack? Maybe you can eat a little bit of the peanut butter left in my mouth? Come here, Mr. Charles.
Rat liquor. That's a good one, with the 20.
That's a good one you can use tomorrow, people. Yeah, be like, fucking rat liquors. They'd be like, what's that? Like, you don't know what rat liquor is? It's a dude that doesn't wear a mask. And be like, oh, why is that? It's like, don't you know about the bubonic plague? The bubonic plague was spread by rats in 1812. Therefore, if you licked a rat, you were not taking any prevention to stop airborne illnesses during an epidemic. Therefore, the term rat liquor, it's common knowledge. That's what you're going to tell people when
right?
they say that they don't know.
Of course, because if you're not wearing a mask, you might as well just be licking a rat. Might as well.
You rat liquor.
Cam, I've got some Urban Dictionary balderdash here for you too. You ready for it?
Ready.
The word we're looking for is pank.
Could you spell that, please?
Pank.
Bank. Boy, could you use it in a sentence, please?
Okay, I will. Let me use this in a sentence here. This one will be a call and response. So like somebody's asking a question and then the response.
Okay, got it.
The question is, hey, what's taking so long? Answer. Sorry, I'm just having a pank.
Is it an acronym?
No, it's a noun.
Okay. Having a pank.
I guess it's a verb.
Noun.
I guess it's a verb.
Okay, I was gonna say that. Yeah.
No, it's a
having.
Yeah, I guess it's a verb. Yeah, this one's tough. I guess it is.
I'm thinking something to do with like panic attack from something. A pank. Having a pank. Sorry, just having a pank. I'm gonna go ahead and say some form of panic caused by something that's not actually there. So like sort of like anxiety, but it's like you're having a full blown panic attack. A pank. Just having a little pank.
Just having a full-blown pank. Not quite, Cam. Not quite. We have been closer. There's a few weeks ago where I think I got one like pretty on the nose almost.
They're pretty tough. It's like if I were to give you a German word, I'm like, what does Durchgangsspiel mean? You'd be like, oh, fuck, I don't know.
Also, because I don't speak German. Cam,
that's right. I don't speak urban.
Cam, to pank is to poop and wank simultaneously.
I should have got that one.
Of course, this is pank is a British term. Us listeners in North America may be more familiar with poopster baiting, which is also
I think I would have got that one. But
well,
I like
of course.
pank better.
How many things are you baiting? Fish and dongs. Poopster baiting, panking.
Love it.
Sounds like
Perfect.
fun though.
It sounds like something I can get into.
Certainly get into panking. That was this week's Urban Dictionary Balderdash. You know, it's so glad that we have the people over at what are their names? What are the dictionary people again? Webster's Dictionary.
Merriam-Webster.
Merriam-Webster. It's so great that their podcast is able to help our podcast out a little bit. You know, of course, they use our recording space just before us, and then we come in for the show before. You're going to want to stick around because, of course, we got Kim Mitchell coming up.
Kim Mitchell. Kimmers coming up.
And you'll probably hear such hits as Patio Lanterns. Or
he's warming up out there.
I can hear him strumming the riff to Lager and Ale right now, as he kind of warms up his extremely bald head. It's almost like shiny at this point.
Who would be first to dance? No rat liquors at this club tonight.
Yeah, just like that. I think.
Yeah, I think that's the words.
Yeah, just like that. That's how you play.
All right. Well, let's finish off the last segment of news and weather here, where we give either fake news, real news, fake weather, real weather. You'll find out soon, folks. The game is played by we read each other headlines, which could be real or could be what we call asinine. Hit it.
Hey, headline or asinine. Headline or asinine.
I like that. I like this little hit it element too. Now the first, maybe going forward, the first person to hit it or kick it, will be kick it. Will be the first one. Of course, we know how the game is played. Cam just explained it. So thankful that we have the opportunity to explain these games on the air.
Yes, sir. All right, so give me a liner.
Okay, Cam, I'll kick this one off here for you. Here we go. Sony is selling headphones in water bottles to prove that they are truly waterproof.
I could see this being a pretty clever stunt that they're doing. To be like, look, we don't even have packaging. We just have water bottles that we'll reuse. So there's a perk for us. We'll also give you the box on the side, but look how kooky we are. This is incredible. This is so wild. It's a headline. They're doing it.
I love the justification, Cam. That's totally a headline. You're right. This is Sony's W Series Walkman, which is like an all-in-one MP3 player / Bluetooth headset, kind of thing. Just like your Bluetooth headphones would be. And they're really trying to nail it home that it is in fact waterproof. And this is exactly it. This was a marketing tactic exclusive in New Zealand for whatever reason. But yeah, customers in New Zealand can purchase their very own Sony W Series Walkman headphones straight out of a water bottle. Clever little marketing tactic. However, Sony does not recommend that you drink the water that the headphones come in. Of course, the water is safe, but
Can I use it for boiling stuff?
Maybe use it for boiling stuff. I mean, they didn't say it's bad water. I think they're just saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't, don't drink it. but they're still going to be good. Apparently the headphones work. No complaints. Nobody's coming out saying, hey, these headphones are dead on arrival. So if you're a swimmer, if you're a runner who sweats a lot, these could be the headphones for you.
Perfect. Glad to hear it. And this is sponsored by Bose headphones, just to make sure we're clear about that. Thank you, Bose and Dr. Drez. Headliner Asinine, Ottawa Tourism will pay Canadians $100 just to visit Ottawa.
Wow, imagine a city so boring you have to get paid to go there.
Yeah.
That
makes me want to go less.
Not really, yeah. Like if you and also $100 isn't like that much.
It's like nothing. I could blow that on strippers in like 20 minutes.
Well, if we're talking Ottawa
or other things,
we're talking Ottawa strippers. That's probably like 4 hours. Cam,
no, I think so actually. Yeah. You get to know.
Yeah, how bad would a place have to be? No fault, though. Like, no Canadian city... There's very few Canadian cities that are, on a bumping on a worldwide scale. Certainly not Ottawa. The international... Or, Ottawa is the national field trip city.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there.
Because you're not going to take your kids. You're not going to take your kids to Toronto, Montreal. Even could be a little bit dangerous. But you're looking at Ottawa and Quebec City. That's where you go for your trips. Does this sound like it could be true? I mean, the government seems like they're in a real hole
pickle
right now. I mean, of course, they've been giving nice Canadians like me thousands of dollars over the last 6 months.
I expect that back. I am a taxpayer.
Hey, I'm a taxpayer too, baby. That's why I love that I got it.
No, you're a tax collector, bud.
I'm a taxpayer, bud. I'm an independent contractor. That money is my money and mine alone.
No, sir. I'll expect full payment by next time you come to Waterloo.
Also, it's not full payment. It's you're paying on the tax on it or whatever, which is shit I would be doing anyways, bud. Let's get right past this one though. It sounds weird. It doesn't sound true. I'm gonna say it's asinine.
It is true, my friend. Ottawa tourism is struggling right now, probably because of this thing called a pandemic going on. On top of that, just a shit city. This headline makes me want to visit it less. I'm like, oh god, you're desperate. Where they've done this in the past. They've given $100 Visa cards to visit Ottawa, and this time you go in, you get $100 off any hotel. So even a worse deal, you're like, oh, so I can't even spend it how I want. I have to spend it on your friggin' roofs. God.
Of course, that's like getting Dave and Buster bucks. It's like it's real money, but you can only spend it at this one place. Ottawa's giving us real money. We can only just spend it at one place.
Stupid.
All
right, hit me up. You're acting stupid.
Okay, Cam, here we go. Headliner asinine, there is no scientific evidence confirming that breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Well, I think there's been scientific evidence saying that you can skip breakfast. Intermittent fasting is important. But the term there's been no scientific evidence, I think you can make scientific evidence for almost anything. Like any publication. We saw a study that came out for our work today that said based on 4,000 trials for one and then 6,000 trials for another and had the exact opposite results. So you can pick however you want to choose. You can find whatever you want. So when they say no scientific evidence, I'm going to say, oh, but then there's the whole most important part of the day. Yeah, no, I'm going to say there is some evidence of it, or this is a fake headline. This is asinine.
You got that right, Cam. You know what? I'm sure a lot of these. Anytime I write about these asinine headlines, I never do. But you're right. I'm sure listeners at home right now are searching articles that have to do with breakfast being the most important meal of the day and finding something that probably confirms or denies it. But that's about it.
All right. Headliner asinine. Someone broke into a Guelph home, pooped in dishwasher, and left.
Pooped in the dishwasher. God, a lot of poop going on this week with the panking. Of course, me taking the L-shots. God, Ottawa, just a shit city. I think you said that a little bit earlier, Cam.
Yep.
Breaking into Guelph, shitting in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
It seems like a weird place. I mean, like, it's a great place to shit if you're pulling a prank on someone, but an odd place to shit if you're breaking into a house where you have no previous vendetta against the person. That's what I would like to hear. I believe that if this is a headline, there's more to it than just the headline that says this is such a messy, visceral, smelly crime. Has to be, due to personal reasons. Your ex-girlfriend is dating somebody new. You go shit in his house.
That's right. That's what I did.
It's really taken a whole new turn. Kind of upper deckers are a thing of the past.
Right.
I mean, an upper decker, what gets gross? The toilet, which is already pretty gross. You shit in a dishwasher. The dishwasher's not supposed to be gross. You've now made it gross.
It's good stuff. Yeah, this is the new standard in revenge.
I'm going to say there's more to it than meets the eye. It's asinine.
This is an ongoing investigation from the weekend. Between 1:15 a.m. and 8:15 a.m., someone came into the home through the back door, which was open. They did not steal a thing. They opened up the dishwasher, let number 2 go, and left without a trace, except for a small one. 100% true, and they don't know who did it. Anyone with evidence, please
hold on. Can we not be DNA testing poop? I know nothing.
What?
I mean, I do know a fair amount about the legal system, because I did write the bar exam, and then
don't talk about DNA testing. Don't talk about shit. He's coming. Fuck, Horatio's here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, okay, we gotta deal with that next week. Because we still have.
Well, this looks like.
Oh my God.
Someone committed a poonie. God, I couldn't come up with anything. What does Horatio say when he walks into that crime before he takes off his sunglasses?
He would say, it looks like we need to call the butler.
That's not bad.
Of course, and this is also a very exciting piece of news that I think we need to share over here at the 2ceesinapod. Of course, CSI Miami has been off the air for many years, but us over here have decided to bring select characters back from the show. And when we say select characters, we pretty much only mean David Caruso. David Caruso will be starting his show over the 2ceesinapod
I thought
network.
his name was Horatio.
Is that the character name?
I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah, that's the character name. Yeah, it's Horatio something. Oh. Fuck. But anyways, David Caruso will be live here, constantly portraying his character from CSI Miami.
Horatio Kane was the name.
Okay, there we go.
Horatio Kane.
There we go. I was always more of a Grisham guy, so the fact that we have David Caruso coming in the studio,
who that is.
He was from CSI Las Vegas, Cam.
Miami's the shit.
You got to be quick to keep up with the language being used here on the podcast, Cam. I have did I have anything more to say about that shitting incident? Not really. You really have to. This is. I also believe this is planned. Cam, you just gave a real key detail about between the hours of 1:15 a.m. and 8:15 a.m., which to me, Cam, that is not shitting time for me.
I think the guy got too drunk and then thought it'd be hilarious.
But even on my drunkest of nights, I don't think I could squeeze one out at 2 a.m.
No,
I don't think so. I mean, you'd have to.
What if you had like Taco Bell that night?
You would have to plan to not poop that morning, so you could very hatefully poop that night.
I think you'd be surprised, and we'll find out. We'll give an update on this if they find anything next week.
Yeah, folks at home, let us know when do you shit? You can reach out at twoceesinapod@gmail.com. Let us know what your daily BM schedule is like.
All right, hit me a headline.
I've got another headline here for you, Cam. So let's kick this one off. The International Potato Center has successfully grown potatoes in a simulated Mars environment.
Nice. Well, I think those potato researchers, if you're gonna start a new planet, a few things you're gonna need. I remember one time an uncle told me, if you go broke and you can't buy any food, buy potatoes, because think of all the stuff you can make. You can make fries, you can make mashed potatoes, you can make lemon potatoes, you can make wedges, you can make a lot of stuff with potatoes, hash browns, right? A lot of variety. Now, nutritional value, basically junk. The fact of the matter, though, is you can make a lot of stuff with them. So if you're going to a new planet, definitely one of the good ones to have, right? It's for that reason that I think that there hasn't been much new technology in the potato market since the Irish figured it out. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a headline.
Cam, that's a headline for you. I don't believe how quickly you jumped past me saying International Potato Center. Like you assumed the International Potato Center was already a thing. I was really of course it is. What are they? Where does the International Sweet Potato Center, you think, coming in that? But it's Cam, that's a headline. Not dissimilar to the the movie The Martian with Matt Damon, where he makes all those potatoes in the shit. Yep. Kind of like he poops and then he eats his potatoes, his poop potatoes. This is very similar to this, of course. This was happening these were Dutch scientists. The International Potato Center is in Dutchland, or whatever they call Deutschland. It's in Deutschland, where they tried to recreate, the similar not hospitable conditions over on Mars, using the least life sustaining soil on the planet, which comes from the Pampas de la Joya Desert in Peru.
Of course, yeah.
Of course, and they added some, human-made fertilizers into this in a very cold environment, and boom, they were able to make it happen. Not unlike Matt Damon's little poop crop, they were able to actually make potatoes in these shitty conditions. No word on sweet potatoes, though.
Those shitty conditions?
No word on if they tried to grow sweet potatoes or if they exclusively tried to grow potatoes. More research might have to be done into that. But there you have it.
We'll give you an update next week.
Hopefully.
All right. Ready for your last headline?
I think so.
New report finds under 15% meat content in most Taco Bell products.
Less than 15% meat products. Oh, goif.
Goif. Taco Bell doesn't sit so well at 2 a.m., I'll tell you that much.
Maybe, this could be the first story of two things coming together, eating Taco Bell, which isn't meat, and then explosively shitting out in somebody's house.
Someone tested that theory. They're like, I don't know about this nonsense. I'm pretty sure it's 100% meat, and I don't poop when it's 100% meat. And next thing you know, it's 2 a.m. in Guelph.
That's always the worst part about eating, and I don't eat too much fast food, as we know, and if I do, it's a burger from Harvey's, where there, I kind of, you can look at a burger like a piece of ground chuck, and you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting. But as soon as things are tossed in with sauces and beans and rice, who the fuck knows what's going on?
What are we doing here?
I bet there is a standard, I bet like the USDA says that you have to have, it has to be like at least 75% meat.
You think that high?
I wonder there has to be maybe like what 50-50 right down there's a great I
don't think Taco Bell's ever once stated like we're 100% meat in our products.
Yeah,
they're like, we have the queso supremo, It's like, what's in the case of Suprema? You're like, a good time. That's what's in there.
Yeah, and out of all the things, like Wendy's is always like, pure Canadian beef, and then McDonald's is like pure beef, and then Taco Bell is like Dorito shell tacos.
Looking for a good time.
They know who they are. They lean into it so much. There's a Simpsons joke where the school is trying to save money by giving kids shitty school lunches, and it cuts to the lunch lady shoving like the gym mats into a food processor, and she says, "There's hardly any meat in these gym mats." And I can picture someone at Taco Bell doing the exact same thing. You need some filler. Why not some newspaper? That would make it go down. I'm gonna say that's a headline.
It's asinine, but I think that's only because they're refusing to do the study.
That's what I think. I think we need to get to the bottom for next week. We need to get to the bottom of how much meat per. Maybe that can be a top 5 in a few weeks. The top 5 highest percentage of meat for fast food restaurants.
Yeah, it's gonna start at like, I think Subway came out. Actually, I won't reveal this. Subway came out with some surprising results a few years ago that I think you'd be surprised by.
Me, as a person who does not like Subway,
does not
would
eat
be
Subway
surprised
because of food poisoning. Yes.
So I will be surprised. Okay, that's good because I could be proven wrong. That's exactly it.
All right. Well thank you all for listening to this week of the podcast. Cam, get us out of here. Kim Mitchell's banging at the door here. What do you have to say?
Stop? I'm saying fuck that guy. We still have time. This is our studio. What are we depraving the world of such hit songs like Rock and Roll Duty and I Am a Wild Party? No.
Let the wild party cross
See, you just heard it right now. Why do we need Kim Mitchell to sing it?
He's asking. He does pay us a lot of money.
Jesus Christ, Cam. Well, thanks for listening to the show, everybody. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Remember, you can rate, review, like, and subscribe. The show is everywhere. 2 Hour fans expecting their mail in. CD, cassette, 8-track. Of course, we are moving from that platform, but you can find us on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Google Play. We're on YouTube. We are on. There's an Amazon equivalent of like a podcast app that is also on, whose name I forget right now. But you can find us in like all of those places.
Cool. Check us if you haven't. Tell a friend. That would be the best gift you could ever give us, other than straight hard cash. And never forget, people, in 1 year's time, you produce enough saliva to fill 2 bathtubs.
Take care, folks.
Continuing tonight on 2 C's in a Pod. 96.7 on your
Two C's in a pod, 2 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 C's in a pod, because we're 2 C's in a pod, just like 2 C's in a pod, 2 C's in a pod at gmail.com.